So what if you could have an AI make thousands of sales calls for you? I'm talking about AI that can hold a surprisingly human conversation, qualify leads, and even book meetings, all while you get to focus on actually closing the deals. Well, that's not sci-fi anymore. It's the reality of AI voice agents, and we are about to break down exactly how this whole thing works. Just to give you a taste of how powerful this tech can get, check this out. One developer built a voice AI he nicknamed the Lowballer 9000, and its mission? It was simple, but kind of crazy. Call every single luxury watch dealer in the US and try to negotiate a lower price on a $35,000 Rolex. And here's the wild part. It actually worked. It was getting real offers, proving that AI can handle these super complex, high-stakes negotiations completely on its own. All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to unpack the high cost of talk. The problem pretty much every business deals with. Then, we'll introduce the machines that are calling to solve it. We'll flip through the AI sales playbook to see how to put them to work. And then, we're getting to the bottom line, the insane ROI. But, it's not the Wild West, so we'll cover the really important rules of engagement before we look ahead to the future of conversation itself.
Okay, so let's get right into the heart of the problem. For as long as we can remember, business outreach has been all about people power. But let's be honest, that comes with some serious headaches, both financially and operationally.
Let's just talk about the money first, the bottom line. If you want a human team that's available 24/7, you are looking at a huge yearly investment. Anywhere from over 125 grand to almost $250,000. And that's not just salaries, right? That's benefits, office space, overhead, and the constant churn of hiring and training. For a lot of businesses, that's just not going to happen. And, it's not just about the cash. Businesses, especially in sales or real estate, are just drowning in calls and emails. This means leads aren't getting qualified the same way every time, response times lag, and opportunities just get missed. And your human staff, they get totally burned out doing the same repetitive, low-level stuff instead of what they're actually great at, building relationships and closing those big deals. Okay, so now that we've laid out the problem, let's talk about the solution, the AI voice agent. This is the piece of tech that is absolutely changing the game. So what in the world is an outbound AI voice agent? Well, it's basically AI software that automatically makes calls for you. But here's the magic part. It actually engages people in natural, human-like conversations that make sense in context. It can figure out what someone's saying, respond in a smart way, and actually get things done, like qualifying a lead or booking a meeting right on the spot. Now, if the word robocalls just popped into your head, let me stop you right there. This is a totally different universe. Those old robocalls, robotic, pre-recorded, just plain annoying? Today's AI voice agents are conversational. They're aware of the context of the chat. They can even pick up on sentiment, like is this person happy or getting frustrated? And they plug right into the tools you already use, like your CRM. Okay, so the tech sounds pretty impressive. I get it. But how do you actually put it into practice? Turns out, it's a lot more straightforward than you might think. Putting this thing to work is actually a pretty logical process. First, you just figure out where you'll get the most bang for your buck, like, say, lead qualification. Then you build out some specific scenarios, you feed the AI a good knowledge base so it knows what to say, and you hook it up to your systems. After that, it's all about training, testing, and then launching. But you do it bit by bit. Start small, see what works, and then scale it up. And you can use these things for just about anything. Seriously, sales and lead gen, of course, booking appointments and sending reminders, nurturing leads, chasing down payments, getting customer feedback. You can even use them to wake up old leads that have gone totally cold. It's an amazing tool for automating communication pretty much everywhere. And that brings us to, let's be honest, the most exciting part of this whole story, the numbers. Because when you stack up the cost of AI agents against old school staffing, the return on investment is, well, it's just stunning. The difference here is just mind-blowing. The yearly cost to run an AI voice agent 24/7 can be as low as about $3,700. A human team doing that same job, that starts at over $127,000. It's not just a small improvement, it's a complete teardown of the old cost structure. So what does that mean in real terms? It means you're looking at a potential cost savings somewhere between 78 and 97% compared to hiring full-time people. That's not just tweaking the budget, that's a total game changer for any company's bottom line. Just let that number sink in for a second. 97%. In the best case scenario, the AI agent costs less than 3% of what a human team would. That's not just efficiency. That is a complete revolution in the economics of how a business can reach its customers. Now, all of this sounds incredible, right? But it brings up a super important question. What are the rules here? You can't just set an AI loose to call the entire planet. There are some really critical legal and ethical lines that you absolutely, positively have to follow. Okay, let's be crystal clear about this. Using AI voice agents for outbound cold calling is illegal. Full stop. You just can't do it. Every single one of your leads must be opted in, which means they have to have given you clear permission to contact them. This is not a friendly suggestion. It's the law, thanks to things like the TCPA. And beyond getting consent, there's a whole bunch of other stuff to think about. You've got to protect people's data. You've got to watch out for bias in your AI models. And you have to be transparent. People deserve to know they're talking to an AI. And all of this circles back to that bigger question of how you find the right balance between this powerful automation and that irreplaceable human touch. And that really is the smartest way to approach this. It's not about replacing your team, it's about making them even better. You automate all the boring, repetitive tasks so you can free up your human experts to focus on the complicated, high-value conversations where their empathy and creative problem-solving skills can really make a difference. So, where is all this headed? Well, the potential for this tech goes way, way beyond just making simple sales calls. We're talking about stepping into some truly creative and engaging new territory. This is where it gets really fun. I mean, imagine using AI not just to sell, but to tell stories. You could have an AI real estate story time that calls up past clients to record testimonials for your social media. Or what about a speed data house feature for quick property matchmaking? You could even have an AI home butler that checks in with new homeowners to give them maintenance tips. This is where outreach stops feeling like a chore and starts being something fun, engaging, and maybe even viral. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. We pretty much know AI is going to take over the repetitive tasks. So the real strategic question for your business becomes, what conversations are you saving for your human experts? Because that's where the future of customer relationships is really going to be built.